Beau, may I steal your fiancée for this next set?
How can I refuse our host? Christina?
Mr. Brock? With Justin Brox.
He's stolen my Christina, so may I reply in kind?
I'd be delighted.
I get the money.
What more could a man ask for, Mrs. Russo? Delightful dance set, finest wine.
And a vintage partner. What shall we drink to?
Well, let's see. Why not?
May I propose the toast?
Please do.
To our glorious union. Perhaps this gentleman didn't hear me.
I heard you. But I'm afraid I dropped my glass. Madam.
Leaving so soon?
I had hoped to be able to stay long enough to take a look at your famous thoroughbreds, Mr. Brooks.
Well, I'm afraid you're a little too late, sir. I've sold all of my stock, except my Waterloo.
Oh, I see. Are you out of the horse game altogether, Mr. Brooks?
Merely selling out here. In the future, I shall raise short horses. Well, they are more practical for work than the blooded races. If you're ever traveling out west and past the town of Dos Mesas, you're welcome to visit.
Okay.
I thought you said you had that hot-tempered fool under control.
Justin, I wonder what you'd do to Beau if you didn't need him.
Well, as long as I do, an answer would be as unnecessary as your question.
They must know that the service is on to the
Possible,
whole
it just can't be. Nothing seems to be missing.
It's apparent that we can't use our government men from here on.
Just nothing. Now, there's $50,000 worth of gold lying there like a ripe plum and
You
nothing.
understand, of course, that the entire resources of Wells Fargo are at your disposal.
Yes, thank you.
I just don't understand it, sir.
What is it, Matthew?
Nothing seems to be missing. Why the raid if they didn't want to steal the gold?
If you had examined the manifest more carefully, you would have observed item 4, page 10.
Page 10, item 4. Casket 7.3. He's destroying the evidence of the theft.
What theft?
What, this raid?
Matthew, do you value your job?
Why, yes, sir.
Good. As you can see, there has been no raid.
No raid.
For the sake of your sanity and your life, tell no one of your ridiculous dream.
Dream? Sir, this is nothing short of a nightmare.
Nightmare. Horses. A capital idea.
You slippery sidewinding she-sarping. That hunk of junk come with the house.
It's mine. You ain't getting nothing but what you signed for.
I signed for the whole darn kit and caboodle, including that. And you know what them words is? Final.
You're a dirty, old, conniving, belly-crawling, devil.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to your new home. Some welcome. Meet Ovie, Jim.
Pleased to meet you, ma'am.
She's the one that sold us the house, the land, and...
Oh, my goodness. My goodness. Better get Tina.
And the stove.
Tina? Tina?
Yes, Mother.
Tina!
Yes, Mother.
Ain't she a sight? Real lady. Just like her ma.
Oh, hush, Jeb. I was just picking these flowers for Mr. Hardy.
Put up, doggone you. This is Mr. Hardy. The one you fixed the house up so pretty for.
You're Mr. Hardy? I didn't know that you...
And you must be Tina from what I hear.
Yes, I am.
Pleased to meet you.
School teacher. That's what she is. How's that for making education interesting, huh?
Mother.
Well, now, you tell me flat out, Mr. Hardy. You think I can trust you with this straight-thinking lass?
Well, yes. yes, I think you can.
Well, now, ain't that too bad?
Mother.
Oh, you're gonna like Glory B, Mr. Hardy. It's the pride of the Sierras, the crossroads of Queen, California.
Ovie, it's a comfort to know you're our nearest neighbor, especially if some Indians decide to attack.
Well, now, just for them kind words, Jebediah, you can have my stove.
Your stove? You ain't giving nothing away that ain't yours. You sidewinding.
Isn't he wonderful?
No, I think he is. And I hope that doesn't lead to bloodshed out there over that stove. I think he's met his match.
Oh, by now they're probably out there looking at each other like a couple of moon-eyed calves. Well, I guess I'd better be going. I have to chaperone Ovie home. She's a real terror with menfolk.
Well, I sure want to thank you for making everything look so pretty around here. I hope I get to see you again.
You will.
Well, everything's looking awful nice around here, Jebediah.
You know, Ovie might not look it, but I gotta admit she's all female when it comes to that special homebody touch. You should have seen her up there patching that roof.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, you've done a good job yourself, though.
Oh, nothing much. Got the corrals up. I fetched the horses. Oh, take a look in the barn while I put the stove back where it belongs.
I'll do that. Then after you get the stove back where it belongs, why don't we get something to eat around here? Well, you sure had me fooled, young lady.
Are you that Wells Fargo, Mr. Hardy?
Well, sure am.
Then how come you're fooled so easily?
Well, I never ran up against such a shrewd, clever hat grabber before.
You don't know it, but you just met the hat-grabbingest of them all, the notorious Mary G.
Well, I'm certainly pleased to meet you, Mary G.
You're nice.
Thank you. I think you're nice, too.
How do you like our barn?
Our barn?
Well, Mama sold it to you. I'm Ovie's little girl.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, I'm going to take very, very good care of our barn.
Did you really capture all those outlaws like Jeb says?
Has Jeb been telling you tall tales?
Bet it was a lot of trouble anyway.
Well, it was a good deal of trouble. But not nearly as much trouble as trying to capture the notorious Mary G. the hat grabber. Thank you. Well, I'll be right back. Well, Mr. Nichols, didn't expect to see the eastern head of Wells Fargo out here.
Nice place you got here, Jim.
Well, thank you. Needs a little rain. I intend to spend my 4 months off looking for breeding stock to put on it.
Well, that's fine. Nothing wrong with killing two birds with one stone, so to speak.
I don't follow you. What's the point?
Well, we want you to look for breeding stock, Jim, but Mr. Jones here in the carriage will explain everything.
Mr. Hardy, our friend might have indicated that I am Mr. Smith.
Your friend indicated you were Mr. Jones.
Well, there's only one name that's important to me. Justin Brock's. Do you know it?
Brock's Horse Farm in Louisiana? They raise the greatest horses in the country, Mr.
Smith.
Jones. Justin Brock's is breeding something else besides horses. A scheme, Mr. Hardy, that could very well bring this union to its knees.
General Lee couldn't do it with an army, Mr. Whatever your name is. How could Justin Brock's, who's only one man, ever hope to do it?
Not with force of arms, but with this.
$1,000 7.3 bond.
Wells Fargo's got a fortune invested in them. Why, every spare dollar in the country's buying those bonds.
Speculate for yourself, Mr. Hardy. Ask yourself what might happen if our treasury was suddenly faced with cashing 50 or 100 times as many bonds as were actually issued. Perfect counterfeits, copies that could not be detected until it was too late. Yes, Mr. Hardy, a bankrupt nation brought to its knees by Justin Brock's. I would feel safer if we were moving. Major, bring Mr. Hardy's horse. Justin Brock's led a daring, skilled special group during the war. After the surrender, one of his men joined the federal printing office. It was he who slipped a thin lead plate through the press during the runoff of the $1,000 bond issue. The result, a perfect impression from which exact steel engravings could be made. He then shipped it in a strong metal container to the south.
By a Wells Fargo packet. Designation on the manifest, Casket 7.3.
Why didn't you just take the plate?
The only way to stop Justin Brock's once and for all is to catch him with the absolute evidence. That is why we tried to shadow the casket to its ultimate destination. I must admit, I am afraid we made a grave mistake.
Because Justin Brock's was smart enough to intercept it while it was in transit, is that it?
Exactly, Mr. Hardy. We have maintained absolute secrecy over this, and we must continue to do so.
You understand that if any word gets out, even a rumor, there might be a run on the banks to cash in the bonds.
That would mean absolute disaster. The confidence in this government bond issue cannot be shaken at any cost. It's up to you, Mr. Hardy.
Up to me? Why me?
There is a town, Dos Mesas, along the Bravo border. Justin Brock's intends to go into the horse game there. Half horses, I think you call them.
Sure horses.
Oh. He intends to operate from there. You must go to Dos Mesas, get Justin Brock's and the plate.
And then what if I should fail?
You won't, Mr. Hardy. You were selected for two reasons. First, because you are a horseman. Second, we checked your Wells Fargo record and found that you had never failed.
There's got to be a first time for everybody. What if this is it?
I shall weep for you at your funeral.
Well, it's nice to know you're not without sentiment, Mr.
Brown. Well, that too.
Mr. Brown. Good day.
It's not much like what we left behind, is it?
Well, Bo, we're together, and that's good enough for me.
We don't have to wait, Chris. We could go to Dos Mesas. We could get married today, now.
No, now, Bo, that's impossible. We must do as Justin says. So far, everything's gone just perfectly, and, well, it'll just draw undue attention to us. Oh, why risk everything we believe in? Our one chance of winning against the North just for a few more days.
You love me, Chris? All right, I'll wait. But just till the plate is finished.
Oh, and I'll be there watching the first bonds running off the press. And then...
But I told you not to give him any trouble.
Justin, I can't stand the sight of him.
But I need him to make the engravings. Do you want everything to blow up in our faces because of that hothead's temper?
He wants to marry me.
Well, then, marry him. Marry him.
Just what kind of a woman do you think I am?
You're my kind, Christina. You only want what you can't have. Now then, you can go to Dos Mesas. I want a report on everybody who gets off that train. Huh? That's quite a horse.
Are you Justin Brock?
Sound chest. Plenty of drive in those legs.
My name's Jim Hardy.
Fine head. Only horse I've ever seen come close to Waterloo. You ever race?
Yes, he runs when he has to.
Bo? Well, what are we waiting for?
Bo McLeod, Mr. Hardy. A pleasure to know you. Nice race.
Yeah, thank you. That's a nice horse you're riding.
How much, Mr. Hardy? Name your price.
You? I'm on a buying trip, Mr. Brock.
Well, I have a few for sale. Drop back to the house, have some supper. Be my guest.
I'm sure they represent some great horses, sir.
They do, but they're just memories, Mr. Hardy. Just memories. Brandy?
Thank you.
It's time to rebuild. South must forget about the past, create its own future.
There are some traditions worth saving, Mr. Hardy.
Bo here served with me under that flag. I was his sergeant. It was a small, specialized unit. And Bo was, well, our artist.
Chris, where have you been all day?
In that filthy town. Justin insists that I keep lookout at the station for, prospective horse buyers.
My fiancée, Mr. Hardy.
Oh, well, now, Jim and I are old friends.
You bet. Ever since I stepped off the train, she told me how to find your place.
I see.
Well, if you gentlemen will excuse me, I think I'll freshen up a little bit.
I'm afraid what I told your fiancée made quite an impression on her, Bo. Actually, I'm on 4 months' leave from my regular job.
Oh?
I'm special agent for Wells Fargo.
Well, you must find that very interesting, Mr. Hardy.
Sometimes it gets a little too interesting for my taste.
Well, I do have some bookwork to do. Help yourself to the brandy. Make yourself right at home.
Thank you. So you served with him, did you, Bo?
The ghosts of Justin Brox, that's what they called us, Mr. Hardy. Sergeant Brox is a legend, a real hero to our Southern cause. We were guerrillas operating behind the enemy lines.
And what was an artist doing with an outfit like that?
Well, there were thousands of Union soldiers who were pretty demoralized when they found their pay was worthless.
Yeah, I bet there were.
Were you in the war, Mr. Hardy?
Yes, I was.
And which was your side?
The side I was on is unimportant. The war's over now. Today, it's all one nation again.
Of course. You probably don't know what it means to believe in something so strongly that it must rise again, like a phoenix reborn.
The rebel cause?
The rebel cause will live forever as long as Justin Brox is alive.
Sergeant Justin Brox.
There was a man in France that was just a corporal. He rose to power.
That's right, he did. And he died in exile, but not until he'd brought his country to its knees. General Robert E. Lee had an army behind him. Still, he shook hands at Appomattox. Now, what could Justin Brox possibly have that makes him any different?
Are you a Bible man, Mr. Hardy?
Yes, I am.
All of Israel was lost until David went after the Philistines with nothing but a slingshot.
That's right. He did. And in the end, all David really craved was Bathsheba, wasn't it? It's getting late. I think I'll turn in. Good night, Bo.
Sending him down here without warning? What kind of a...
Justin, he's interested in horses, not plates.
You little fool, do you think this is some kind of a ridiculous game? Our entire cause is at stake.
Now, who do you think you're talking to? The only cause you're fighting for is money and the power it can bring us.
Us, Christina?
Us, Justin. Just as long as you need me to control Bo.
Be warned, Christina. Now, you stay in line. You make me believe you're trying to make a deal with Hardy, just one slip. And that slip can be very, very permanent. Everything has its price.
Has it? What are you asking for Waterloo?
Touche, Mr. Hardy. I can see where Jubilee is your Waterloo.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that Chris won't mind showing you around.
Good day. That is a nice morning.
Is it?
Thought it was. I suppose it's all how you feel.
I don't have any feelings, Mr. Hardy.
Everybody has feelings. One way or another. Love, hate, indifference.
The only thing I have feelings for is money.
Oh, I see. Well, money is not something that you can get for nothing, you know.
Well, now, supposing I could get something that Justin has. It's the only thing he needs and, you want.
I'd be willing to pay for it.
Would it be worth $25,000?
It might be.
I have to think about it.
You've come this far. Go the rest of the way.
You know, I'm beginning to like you, Jim. And I'd like to give you a warning. Don't go into those hills up ahead. It's dangerous.
Did Justin Brox tell you to warn me to make sure I would go?
Mr. Hardy, delighted to see you. Come on in, have a look around.
You don't mind my looking around, huh?
Why should I? Mine's my property. You're my guest. Must have been abandoned about 10 years ago because the silver vein ran out about right there. Now, this section I've been chipping on, see those flecks? Striations, silver. Now, doesn't that prove that the vein starts again right there?
Well, I don't know about that, Mr. Brox. I'm not that much of a miner. But I'm quite sure that's not why you had me lured in here.
Well, now, Mr. Hardy, do you think that I would have Christina lure you down here? Well, I'm afraid you caught me, sir.
Well, then why don't we get to the point?
Well, the point is Jubilee. How's this for a deal, man? Half interest in this mine for Jubilee.
No sale there.
Mr. Hardy, I'm going to make a lot of money down here. Tell you, why don't we talk it over at supper time?
Well, I thank you for your invitation, but I'm afraid I can't accept. Got a room back in town. I'll need a clean shirt. But again, I want to thank you for your hospitality. Good day.
How does it look?
It's almost perfect. A few lines right there need to be cleaned up. It shouldn't take too long.
found out anything, Mr. Hardy?
Not anything for sure.
Clever man, Justin Brox.
Yes, he is. However, he might have been a little too clever this time. He took great pains to show me an abandoned mine just to prove to me there was nothing there.
But if there was nothing there...
There has to be. I noticed the tracks as I came out. There was no rust on them. One ore truck making one run couldn't have done that. There had to be many runs, each time with a heavy load.
Like paper and a press?
Exactly.
That must be it. You haven't very much time, Mr. Hardy. They've probably made that plate and are running the press right now. What do you need? Name it.
I need enough men to go up there and take that mine.
Can you guarantee me that the plate is there and that we'll get it and Justin Brox together?
Well, I can't guarantee that, no.
Then you must go it alone without any help from outside. I can't risk anyone else knowing about it unless we're sure. Other than that, anything.
All right. Give me $30,000 in cash. It's not for me. It's for the girl. She knows where the plate is. Right now, she's scared. She doesn't trust Justin Brox anymore.
Offer her 20,000, then settle for 25. It's a matter of policy, you know.
Yes, I know. Matter of fact, it's what I figured.
How about the boy, Bo McLeod?
Right now, the only way you get to him is to shake his faith in Justin Brox. At this point, there's no chance of that.
Perhaps this will help.
Are you sure about this?
Not sure, Mr. Hardy. Positive.
Mr. Hardy, I've made up my mind. Did you get the money?
I got what I needed. Did you get the plate?
There's one guard at the mine. We should be able to get by him easy enough. And I left Justin and Bo at the ranch. If we hurry, I think we can make it.
How do I know the plate's at the mine?
You don't trust me, do you?
Not as long as that plate's worth a good deal more than you're asking delivered. You could just be using me.
Well, it looks like you're just gonna have to wait and find out.
Drop it.
It's been a long time since anybody was able to get the drop on me, Bo.
The training I got from Sergeant Brox.
Did he also train you how to kill in cold blood?
Only for a cause, Mr. Hardy.
Did you ever get to thinking that there might not be any cause, except Justin Brox's own personal cause, of course?
What do you mean?
I think you're sincere in what you believe in. But I also think that Justin Brox and Christine are in for just one thing and one thing only, and that's money.
That's a lie.
Is it? And how come she's up there right now trying to get her hands on the plates?
Why should she be?
Because I offered her a lot of money to get a hold of them. Well, what's it gonna be?
Let's go.
Justin? Justin, No, Justin.
Nice work, Bo. Maybe I'll get Jubilee after all.
Where's Chris?
Why don't you ask Mr. Hardy here? She went out to make a deal with him.
I say she's here someplace.
And I know she's not.
In that case, you wouldn't mind us looking around, would you?
That's far enough.
Hold it.
Well, it's up to you now, Bo.
Well, I guess he's right, Bo. Now, you just think about it. Now, my men are ready to pass those bonds out in every city in this world. Ready to do their job if you do yours.
I've done mine, Justin.
Then all we have to do is crank that machine and turn out $250 million worth of power.
Power? Whatever happened to that great and glorious cause you've been talking about?
Now, you think about it, Bo. Think what it'll be like when we win. You'll be standing alongside of Sergeant Justin Brox.
And Christina? Where will she be?
Now, forget about her, boy. You want to lose a chance to win the world because of a woman who tried to make a fool out of you?
He's right. She did make a fool out of you. But because of him, they both made a fool out of you. And I can prove it.
Bo, you know what Waterloo means to me. I'll bet you my horse that he can't prove it.
Well, it looks like you've just won a horse, boy. This is the official document. Didn't want to show it to you unless I had to. Now I've got no choice. She's been Mrs. Justin Brox for quite some time now.
Now, you try to understand, Bo. Now, we had to lead you on. Our cause is worth the sacrifice of everything.
Even honor?
Even your wife?
I told you, I don't know where Christina is.
Why don't we call her? Or won't she ever answer again? No escort, no patrol.
You know, Mr. Hardy, if that plate got into the wrong hands, it could be a terrible temptation.
Yes. Yes, it could. About $100 million worth of temptation, I'd say.
Very well. Tempt me.
Not just yet. First, let's talk about Beau McLeod.
He will have to pay the penalty for making that counterfeit plate.
Now, which plate are you talking about? The one that was stolen off the packet boat in Louisiana?
Yes, you're right. There was no raid. Therefore, nothing was stolen.
So, doesn't it follow, then, that there couldn't possibly be a counterfeit plate?
It follows. Now, will you hand over that exquisitely non-existent plate? It's ruined. Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
A wise precaution? Or did you guess that every man had his price? I shall never know whether I actually have found my own.
Well, perhaps it's just as well that way, Mr.
Prescott.
Alexander Prescott.
Yes, Alexander Prescott is my name.
Good day, sir. There have been times when I could use a man like you, Bo. On my side.
You mean you'd like me to go to work for you?
Maybe not for me. With me. Of course, it may not be the kind of cause that'd inspire a young hothead like yourself. Working for Wells Fargo, it's just a simple right and wrong of it.
If you'd be willing to give me a chance,
Then it'd be a shame to miss an opportunity to raise some fine horses from a good one like old Waterloo there.
Sure would. Of course, we could do some talking about it if Waterloo and I live somewhere near you.
Yeah, we could.
And I need the chance, Mr. Hardy.
All right. We'll see.
Let's try.